Good morning, everyone. Good morning, esteemed delegates, and welcome once again to the Teens Voice Summit. It is my honor and privilege to spearhead this highly informative segment and bring to you very important news regarding the ever-evolving and expanding horizons of Nigeria's educational sector. My name is Demilade. With the many things going on in the world today, it has become very clear that one must be duly equipped with useful information at all times, especially about the happenings of their governments and legislations. With this in mind, I would like to use this opportunity to inform you about and address a new issue being brought up in our tertiary education sector. This issue being that the minimum age for university admission in Nigeria should be 18 years old. While I'm sure many people already have their opinions about this topic, and those who were not previously informed will be forming their opinions now, I will be sharing the facts and already discussed areas of concern regarding this sentiment as shared within the Parliament. From our research, we have gathered that the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Mamman, has disclosed that the federal government makes plans to review and peg the minimum entry age into tertiary institutions in the country at 18 years old. This comment has generated mixed reactions from the stakeholders in the education sector. Professor Mamman has highlighted that the undue pressure some parents place on their underage children to secure admission into higher education institutions is not ideal. This measure aims to align with the structured 6334 educational system, which sets the university entry age at 18. He believes that the transition into university is when young people move from controlled to uncontrolled environments, taking charge of their own affairs. Professor Mamman explained that if they are too young, they might not manage their new freedoms and responsibilities effectively, and this contributes to other issues that we see in our tertiary sector. The National Parent-Teacher Association of Nigeria, NPTAN, has expressed support for Professor Tahir Mamman's pronouncement to peg the tertiary education admission age in Nigeria to 18 years of age. The National President of NPTAN, Alhaji Haruna Danjuma, expressed his backing on this on Wednesday, April 25th, 2024, during an exclusive interview with the Nigerian Tribune. He, however, urged the federal government to call up to the three major examination bodies in the country, the West African Examinations Council, WAEC, the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAM, and National Examination Council, NECO, to make the proposal a policy that would work effectively. Mr. Danjuma explained that for the Minister of Education to have aired his views about the 18 years of age limits for tertiary education admission, it is a way of reminding parents that there is a risk of rushing their children into their education. He says once the underage were not able to scale through those stages of examination right from secondary, primary, and then to the UTME level, it would be difficult for them to secure admission into universities, be it public or private. Mr. Danjuma shared his belief that the money these various examination bodies are making from their candidates through registration could be largely responsible for them not to bother to block the underage sitting for the examinations, and that the supply of candidates' national identity numbers, NINs, as part of their registration alone is enough to aid the implementation successfully. Similarly, in support of this notion, the National President of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, Professor Emmanuel Osodoke, said the comment by the Minister, Professor Tahir Mamman, is in order. Professor Emmanuel says, as a person and a lecturer who has seen a lot of things in the system, he throws his weight behind the Minister. These toddlers they are sending to universities are not emotionally mature, and you find a lot of them in our private universities. People that are not ready for the rushed adult life could end up badly and negatively influenced. He also described the proposition by the federal government as a welcome development. We, ASU, are in full support. It is the right thing to do. What the minister said is the correct thing, is what he told the Punch Nigeria correspondent in an interview. The Nigerian Senate has also been said to be making plans to create a legislation for the adoption of 18 years as the entry age for admission into universities and other tertiary institutions in the country. Sahara Reporters, as of Wednesday, April 24, 2024, states that this was disclosed by the Chairman Senate Committee on Tertiary Institutions and TET Fund, Senator Muntari Danduce, after monitoring the ongoing Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME, alongside its House of Representatives counterparts in Abuja on Tuesday. The chairman of the Senate Committee on Tertiary Institutions and TET Fund, Senator Muntari Danduce, spoke when he led other members of the committee, as well as its House of Representatives counterpart, on monitoring the ongoing UTME in some examination centers at the lawmakers' oversight function. Senator Danduce said the Senate would support every effort by the government to streamline admission processes, especially the area of minimum age qualification for entry into institutions in the country. However, as of May 2nd, 2024, the Senate has assured Nigerians that the 16-year age requirement for applicants seeking education to tertiary institutions in the country has not changed. The Red Chamber insisted that the comments about increasing the age limit to 18 years were personal opinions. The Upper Chamber clarified that any downward or upward review of the age limits could only be done by legislation that followed due process. The Senate, through its spokesperson, also declared that nothing would be done on the minimum age requirement into tertiary institutions until all stakeholders in the education sector endorse it. Mr. Adaramodu stressed that comment on the minimum age requirement for admission is not a law, so it is just an opinion, and that by the time the Senate resumes, whoever wishes to bring that out to make it a law will bring that out, and then procedures will take place. He says you can bring whatever to the floor in form of a bill. When you bring it, there will be a public hearing. Professor Tahir Maman maintains that it is important to recognize that only 20% of the students can be admitted into universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education. The minister underscored the importance of vocational skills acquisition. He stated that the Education Ministry is proactively incorporating skills training from as early as primary school to ensure that students have valuable skills for life outside of traditional academic paths. Skill acquisition is essential for those who may not proceed to tertiary institutions, he said. Every student should have the opportunity to lead a meaningful life after completing their primary and secondary education, and skills training is the key to achieving this. This research-based excerpt is largely curated from the following sources: The Sahara Reporters, Tribune Online, Punch Nigeria, MySchoolGist.com, Vanguard Nigeria, and NigeriaLawyer.com. This notion to make the age of admission 18 years old will have many implications, which we will discuss today. We would also like to know the thoughts of the members of the audience here today, and this is because many of you here represent the next class of people who will be going into the university within the next few years. Thank you so much for listening, and I trust that you have been able to take important notes from this segment. God bless you.